I should first thank Jay sir for endorsing soil concept. When I first spoke to him, I remember it was in Feb 2020 when we met in a fintech conference, and we had a brief conversation, and then that extended. I was like, I think we need to create a school or an institution around problem solving, and where the students or the participants, usually we are used to the classrooms, lectures, this kind of a model. But coming from the industry and my kind of experience, I figured out, I did, feel like, people should, irrespective of the age, should first carry the tinkering kind of experience rather than just the theory and all. This is where most of the people speak, as I call the IOS, information overload syndrome. But when converting it into actions and results, we see a lot of gaps. And this was our initial discussion, and around that, our founding mentor, Mr. J. Chaudhary Garu, followed by Dr. Balaji Utla Garu, and Mr. Raja Vadiparthi Garu, who is not here. He couldn't travel today. I had hours of discussions with them over the phone, and then the pandemic broke. We were like, how do we proceed? Because this has been a long term plan, and of course myself, Usha, being my better half, we were researching more on this education models and all after we moved back to India. That was more towards a long-term future, not we never knew when we'll go to kick off this kind of institutional journey. But thanks to Jay sir, he gave me that catalyst moment after I met him, and things started off with AIJ first, and then we launched SOIL, School of Innovation and Leadership, with the programs around AI, and to begin with, and AI getting into whatever the live streams. Why AI and why deep tech and all, as Usha was mentioning. These are the fundamental building blocks for this century as they mature. For somebody who's having like 20 years of experience in the industry, in Telugu, if I have to say, if I introduce these technologies or talk about these technologies, most of them come up like Amma, kind of an expression. But for this generation, they really don't have anything in mind, like create as if nothing existed. Nothing exists in their mind, and it's like the plain heart and plain minds. For them, it is a bomma. That's the toy. So you give them AI, machine learning, you give them any kind of neural network, a quantum machine. For them, technically, the baseline is no, it's like a toy, and the curiosity in them will make them explore. They won't even mind, to go and actually look at a book or, go and sit in the library. Rather, how I tried to reverse engineer the first desktop that my father brought, in just like 24 hours, completely, disassembled it and then tried to assemble it. It didn't work, and then I had to again run to CTC. So Chandra, CSCC Labs CEO, founder, we shared, these stories from BTech days, playing around with things and all, irrespective of the infrastructure that we had. So we at SOIL, we thought, despite of the lockdown and all, we'll start off with the soft labs first. This can go in the cloud mode, that is online mode of collaboration. And now, starting 2022, pups, you have experienced their, their experience in terms of this event, having a bot kind of an experience into an event rather than just a human coming and greeting people and asking for the savories. It's a small time experience, but the near future and far future, we are going to see all these experiences into our lives. We're already inviting them into our homes, into our offices, into the malls, into every walk of the life. So basically, this is where starting 2022, we're going to extend our cloud offering that is beyond online, that is in person, as well as the metaverse journey. And thanks again to Jay sir for catalyzing this moment. We thought of, as per the roadmap, it was supposed to be in SOIL 4.0, that is next year. But he said, I think you'll miss the train. So the readiness from the team, just from that one statement is like, no, We're just moving it to 3.0. And from this year on, we will be having a Metaverse is a series of hackathons that we have planned to be conducted across the world. I think Madhu is not here. I do have one of our distinguished team member, Mr. Karthikeya, who will be part of the Metaverse hackathon team. We will be conducting hackathons around the world, 6 continents, because the 7th one, Antarctica, I don't know if there is any school or university that I can partner with. We wish to. Okay, so 6 or 7 continents, around 6,000 schools, students, 60 universities for Metaverse, and then a storytelling competition around the AI use cases and the Metaverse use cases. This will be, you'll hear more about it from Shreya, who will be joining us in the next session from Toronto. So part of these hackathons and all in the next 1 year, we're going to throw the use cases to the student community as well as the working professionals, where we are in talks with partnering with few industry partners, where their employees can engage 10 to 20% of their work bandwidth with soil, with the DX labs, which is the core hub of all this innovation and research work. So we are inviting people from industry into the labs. We are inviting students, and we're also inviting the Gen Alphas, starting 3.0. The reason is they are the power consumers, so they know the design better than anybody else. Just that we are trying to extract and streamline that kind of thought process in them. So our first batch is here today, and we are going to have around 24 students in this PUPS program in Baltimore, Washington area and Hyderabad Metropolitan. We'll plan to extend it in 4.0. So with the Gen Alpha, with the Gen Zs, and of course the Millennials and the Gen X, this ecosystem, soil as a whole is, it's a mix of generations coming together. So every day we get to travel between these generations, and everyone has their own metaverse in terms of looking at the world and their outlook towards the world, with their experiences, with their data points. Their data center throws different insights, different thought process, and we are really experiencing this kind of a matrix world, juggling between different generations and their thought process and converging everything into a product or a solution. Ask Anjali is one such product, and the team is here. They're going to present you what they're doing from the last 1+ year. And AIJ, of course, Shreya is going to give a new outlook to it rather than just a story bank. I'll leave it as a suspense for now. In the next 1 hour, she'll join us. So this is all about what we're trying to do, and we will be partnering with universities, as I mentioned, industries across the world. The initiation has already begun. To begin with, I thank Professor Bala, who's come all the way from Coimbatore to Hyderabad. We are already working with their institution, GRG Group of Institutions, GRG School of Management Studies, Krishnamal College for Women, the largest women ecosystem in India, and also the Chandrakanti Public School. Thank you, sir, for helping the team actually create the content as well as spread the content and let Ask Anjali grow. In fact, so and I thank Dr. Nandini Rangaswamy garu, the chairperson of GRG, who really is contributing a lot towards Ask Anjali initiative and also towards soil as a whole. And Dr. Ajit Rangnekar sir, I really loved that conversation the other day with you when for the 1-2 hours and throwing a very clear state of how soil can emerge. And I'm looking forward to work with you towards making soil, as I know, with your permission, sir, Stanford of tomorrow, but we wanted it to be the Takshashila of the modern day, just for the quick correlation of how this institution should emerge. That's where the focus is going. Thank you. And Professor Subbarangaya garu, thanks for being here, sir. And we need your guidance and inputs in getting forward from here. And Dr. Balaji Utla garu, I think thank you is not enough for the time that he gives to me, and then to the team, and then to the kids. Recently, PUPS, they had wonderful work session with you, sir. And I know it's like few hundreds of hours of conversations that actually made 6D framework, refined the 6D framework, and then add, these experiences. And Fundamentum framework today is a result of all those inputs from Jay sir, Balaji sir, and Raja Vadiparthi sir, and all the dignitaries, and Chandra as well, Dr. Raghavendra, R Plus Analytics. Last 2 years, pandemic has given us time to interact more. That's one thing, which I probably should thank pandemic. Rest and all, I don't want to make it a hero. So thank you so much for everything, and we'll continue to share.